joined this morning by two members of my cabinet, Secretary of ALEA, Hal Taylor, and Commissioner of Mental Health, Kim Boswell. We're here today for something that affects many Alabamians. And I'm honored to have Dr. Julian Maha join us to discuss a fabulous new program called KultureCity that he developed to help law enforcement identify individuals who have invisible disabilities. Too often we have citizens with sensory issues or folks who may have PTSD, autism, dementia, a whole host of special needs that frankly our heroes in blue haven't been trained to deal with up to this point. In the past, if law enforcement doesn't know how to properly assess a person's needs, situations may have escalated needlessly when they didn't have to. And I'm proud to announce this morning, y'all, that all sworn officers with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency have completed this program. Moving forward, as our law enforcement interacts with folks, they'll be aware and have the ability to get them the tools they need to cope. So instead of taking people to the emergency room or to jail, our law enforcement can properly differentiate from somebody who is being combative or argumentative with someone who may simply be struggling with an overwhelming or physically painful sensory issues. During the last few years, Alabama has made it a priority to improve how we deal with mental health. And this year we have funded and opened 3 new crisis centers in Montgomery, Mobile, and Huntsville, designed specifically to address mental health needs. So now I'd like to ask Dr. Maha to come and explain this program, and then Secretary Taylor and Commissioner Boswell will tell us how this will be a dual partnership among the state's resources. Y'all, it's this type of collaboration that truly makes a difference. Dr. Maha.
First and foremost, I want to thank Governor Ivey, Secretary Taylor, Stephen Tidwell, and John Hamm for not only championing this, but also understanding the importance and value of having the KultureCity First Responder Sensory Inclusive certification and training. I also want to thank Andrew Wyatt, who's been continuously pushing this story in national media. And I also want to thank Chief Brad Flynn and Mayor Puckett from the city of Helena for being the first in Alabama to adopt this. Today is a historical day, not only for the state of Alabama, but also for the rest of our great country. 7 years ago, when our oldest son was diagnosed with a sensory need and an invisible disability, we founded KultureCity in order to create a community of acceptance and inclusion for so many like him. Today marks the fruition of that. Today I'm proud to say that every single state trooper in our great state has not only done the training, but has been certified and also will continue to undergo continuous certification in order to better serve citizens with sensory needs, mental health challenges, and invisible disabilities. Today, every single state trooper vehicle not only has a sensory bag in it, but also a sensory certified decal to let the public know that these services are available. Today, Alabama has become the leader in sensory diversity and inclusion for the entire nation. We, all of us here, have started a movement and changed culture, something that soon will be in every single first responder department in the rest of our country. Today, Alabama leads first, and we should all be proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Governor, for your support being here today. Dr. Maha, thank you so much for your support as well. I can't thank you enough for all that you've done to provide the training to us free of charge. The training is free. The bag that you're going to see in a few minutes with the contents that he's going to provide each trooper or each law enforcement officer, whether it's city or whoever, is free of charge to us. KultureCity has provided that to us free of charge, which is huge for us. The training is second to none. We've needed that for a long time. Law enforcement officers in this state and all around the nation wear many hats every day, as you well know. Wearing those hats, different hats, you need to be trained and prepared for whatever hat you have on. To me, I feel like this is another tool in the toolbox that we have to do our job properly. Every day we're required and asked to do many different things on a daily basis, as you know. But those type of challenges, we were lacking in that training until Dr. Maha asked us to do what we're doing and provided what we needed. Today, we're all trained and we have that information available to us. And you never know when you're going to pull up on somebody. You're going to be at possibly a wreck, a crash scene. You're going to stop someone who has these type challenges. Now we know what to look for. We know how to handle those situations and what to do. And I just want to thank you so much for what you do. Governor, thank you for supporting us and being here and helping us during this training. It's just very important. Thank you so much. Next, Kim Boswell. Say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Governor Ivey and Secretary Taylor. We are so happy to be here today to build better outcomes for people with disabilities. And this training is a critical step in having positive interactions with law enforcement. Thank you, Dr. Maha, for advocating for community inclusion and understanding of individuals with disabilities. There is definitely power in inclusion. Community is really important for everyone. As the Mental Health Commissioner, I know that building resiliency to overcome trauma happens in community. Healing happens in community, and relationships are currency for change. KultureCity aligns with the Department of Mental Health mission to serve, empower, and support. As we expand the availability of crisis services across the state, positive interactions with law enforcement and first responders will support those individuals in crisis, receiving services in the right place at the right time, and at the right place, It is important to have someone you trust to talk to, someone you trust to respond, and a place to go where people understand you. That is really the purpose of 24/7 crisis services across our state. And the governor and the legislature have been very supportive of those efforts. To quote Margaret J. Wheatley, there is no power for change greater than a community discovering who it cares about. Today, the law enforcement community is making it clear who they care about. They care about Alabama's most vulnerable citizens. Thank you for caring about the people we serve and for your commitment and devotion to them. Thank you.